What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists, and welcome to another episode of On the Bench with Pete. Now, this is the paint along, build along series that you put on in the background whilst you do your own hobby stuff. I do ramble and I do talk about lots of different things, some interesting, mostly not. But it's there to try and take away the tedium of some of the more boring tasks of hobbying, I don't know, such as priming a horde army or preparing something or building that tank. It just seems to take forever. So this way you get about an hour's worth of hobby, and it's all good because the time just goes like that. That's what I find anyway. But grab yourselves a cup of tea or coffee or something, and the models you want to work with or on. And let's get to it. Let's get some more of our awesome hobby done. And yeah, I'm super excited this time. I'm starting my Walking Dead All Out War core box set, so I'm super excited for that. Anyway, let's get to the bench. Right, as you can see, I've got 12 figures in front of me. 12 zombie figures from the Walking Dead All Out War core box set. I think I haven't read through all the rules yet. I nearly have, but as I'm reading through it, I'm thinking I'm going to have to get some sort of booster pack to bump up the number of zombies, and I'm definitely going to want to be playing larger games as well at some point. So this episode I'm going to be concerned primarily with the preparation of these models, and then I'm going to be attaching them hopefully to these things here, ready for priming and painting. So now I'll say at this stage I'm going to sort of follow the paint scheme that Carl from Black Country Wargamer has used on his zombies for his Walking Dead, because I think they look pretty amazing, and I think they contrast nicely with the survivors. When you paint the survivors up nicely, I think it's really cool to have the zombies in a kind of monochrome painting effect. I think it looks better on camera too. So yeah, looks good, you know. Anyway, but some of these miniatures are really nice. I mean, this one I've just picked up here now, the way the foot's all bent back. Don't know if you can see that there. Look, see the foot. So he's shambling along with a broken ankle. That's just awesome, with one arm. And they're so much more dynamic, I think, than the Zombicide ones. So I'm going to really enjoy this, I think. So here we are. So looking for mould lines, which I'm just going to gently scrape away. I probably won't even be starting the painting in this episode, but if I can get them prepped, that'd be pretty sweet. So I am super stoked to be getting into this game, guys. I really am. And yeah, I think it's just awesome. I love zombies. I've always liked zombies. I've always had a soft spot for them anyway, I think. But since I saw The Walking Dead, I first saw it as comic book or graphic novel, which looked good, and then they went and brought out a TV series based on it. It doesn't strictly follow the comics, but it's a blooming good series in its own right, I think. And I'm kind of hooked on it. I'm hooked on the desperation, I suppose, and the ironic thing is, I think the depravity that the human race would seek to, I think it emulates it rather well. Picked up a texture tool then, and I'm wanting a mould line remover. Trouble is with the mould lines is you put a dusting of primer on and it really shows up. But anyway, these casts are just phenomenal. I think they're great. Love it, absolutely love it. And if Carl's shambling horde is anything to go by, even if I get it sort of resembling that, I think it'll look pretty damn amazing. So what he did, he had them all together, all painted up to his colour scheme, and it looked amazing. And I agree. I think it's better to go monochrome. I was actually thinking of going like a red monochrome to start with, like some of the artwork, but then I thought, no, I think the sort of black and white monochrome would look best. Which is of course a subtle grouping of greys and white. Now this plastic is a strange plastic. It's sort of similar to Games Workshop, but not quite, I would say. Close enough to be nice to work with though, I would say. Because some plastics are just weird, aren't they? Have you ever tried removing the mould lines from Reaper Bones models? You'll know what I mean. That's kind of a soft plastic. This is a hard plastic, but not brittle, I would say. Alright. So this is probably going to take, the entire episode just preparing some of these. So I finished my Congo Forest Tribe set, which is good. Means I can now play that here, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, the monochronistic look of the zombies, like they're all washed out of colour and stuff. I'm probably going to keep the blood on them though, or maybe dried up blood, like on the stump of the arm here. Probably I'm going to do that. Yeah. Yep, so I'll get these all primed up, hopefully before the next On the Veg episode. I can then start painting them. I've also got some other little bits of terrain and things I want to do for objective markers for both Walking Dead and Congo. So I keep wanting to say Zombicide, so if I do say Zombicide accidentally, you have to forgive me. It's just a habit I've been in when working with zombies. One of the things that attracted me about this game was the skirmish level. I think a lot of gamers are heading towards the skirmish level stuff now and trying out more awesome games, as opposed to sticking with massive game that they can only do one or two armies for. what I will do, I will be placing the miniatures onto these lids, which is of course going to make it easier to work with. I mean, for all-in-one models, they look pretty amazing, I think. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know how they've been able to capture some of the poses in a single mold. It's molding technology for you, I guess. Okay. Next chappie. His foot looks like it's on the way out. It's not quite yet though. He's still pretty intact in terms of he's got all his limbs still. So yeah. I think the mould removing tool probably going to be better for the larger areas here. So if I might tie his leg there, try and do it without scraping it up. So I enjoyed seeing what other stuff you guys are working on through these videos. So you know, let me know again what it is you're working on, folks, and I enjoy reading that. Sometimes I think, oh, wow, I don't mind having a go at that. Or I get ideas for future temptations. Sometimes. Suffering with a little bit of toothache at the moment, so I'm going to be getting that sorted this week, or at least looked at. Hopefully they won't take too long to put me back in a nice place. There's nothing worse than toothache, is there? Maybe earache nearly ranks with it, but not quite, I don't think. Yeah, some of these mould lines are tricky here. But that's not bad. And it doesn't need to be like super amazing quality. Ooh. So there's another one. Mould lines can even be representative of scars in some instances, can't they? Especially on the zombie. In a game like this. So I did my P&Q the other day, as you may have seen. This week I did a walk and talk episode, and yeah, it was interesting. Made me think, would I do them again in the future? Who knows? I don't know. It was interesting walking to a place I normally drive to, because consequently you go a different route. You don't like go along the road exactly. And you see things that you wouldn't normally see, that you've missed every day of your life just driving by. It was a bit of an eye-opener. I have to say. Not an unpleasant one. It was hard work. It was hard work for me, because I'm still suffering to a certain degree from it. And that was last week for me, don't forget. That wasn't this week. A lot of recovery to do over the weekend, that's for sure. But I'm alright, I'm getting there. It's all good. I haven't got to worry about the base pinging off on these, because they're all one piece. Which is good. Got the old mould line over here too, just slightly thinner. Use it to get in the inside of the legs. I feel like I need translucent hands doing this for the camera. So it's all Citadel prep tools I'm using. It's always been my philosophy to kind of get to know a model before you paint it and as you paint it. So that's why a lot of the time I prime by hand as opposed to spray. So I look at areas and I think, oh, that's going to be tricky to get to, or that's going to be difficult, and you know, things like that. This isn't bad. Fairly easy. For a sip of tea, I think. Trusty willow bark. Interesting looking model. I really like the gaming mat I've got, which is the farm. Because that can be doubled up for the campsite as well, which could actually be used for a lot of games. Now I've got this idea, well, I don't know if I could pull it off. I see I've got green felt covered gaming tabletops that would suit the Walking Dead quite well actually. And I'm wondering if I can use them as a sort of green screen terrain mat, if that makes any sense. So say for instance I wanted a desert. If I had like an aerial view of a desert looking down, and I could just paste that onto the green felt of the table, then I wouldn't need these mats. So that's an idea I'm toying with. I might just try it out in my next unboxing just to see what it looks like. So I'm not even going to go for an aerial shot proper, just to see how it would look and what problems I may come across. So I think that would look pretty amazing. Right. Oh, we're getting through these, not bad at all. I'm going to pop these two together on this one, just to bulk out the blue tack a bit more. I've also got some epoxy boulders I want to paint up. They were kind of miscasts, sort of, well, leftover. So not miscasts as such, but they were leftover epoxy from, as it turned out, miscasts. But I just had it left over. I thought, I've got no mould to put it in. What do? Well, let's make some boulders. So if all else fails, boulders are good. Now these particular mould lines aren't as easy to get rid of as the Games Workshop ones, I'll give them that. Just something about the plastic being slightly different, and I can't quite put my finger on it really, but I'm sure it'll be fine once the paint is applied. I don't want to worry about them too much, as I say. They're zombies in a skirmish game. Characters are going to be a bit more problematic, as I'm obviously going to want to put some more effort into those guys. But for here and now, a lot of poor dudes with one arm here. I love the variety. I don't think any two zombies are the same. No, they're not. Not in this box set anyway. Whereas obviously Zombicide, you get a lot of the same casts, the same type of walker, same fatty and all that kind of stuff. But these are as individual as the characters, so yeah, no, I'm a bit eccentric. I'll probably come up with some rules for having the zombies as the good guys, and try and turn it on its head. That's my nail flicking over the side. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7. So I'm over halfway. This is good. This is obviously a female, this one. Legs are thin. Even the flesh looks kind of necrotic in places. So, next. There's quite a few female walkers here. I'll even look to see if the ratio is 50-50. Nearly, I would say. Three left to prep. That isn't bad. Not bad at all. I think I might get them primed today. A lot of them don't have footwear, which is understandable. I would imagine they've probably been robbed of their footwear at some point, a lot of them, by survivors. Okay, last two. Guy's wearing a cap. Doing that thing, making up backstories for them in my head. Right, well, who is this guy? What was he? Where did he work? What did he do? What was his name? I'm not going to bother myself too much about that. Last zombie, all her arms all twisted back. I mean, I'm using the hobby knife primarily because a lot of trickier areas to get to. Like 40k, you got lots of large areas like the legs and arms. So these are kind of quite close to the body, I would say. Not making it easy to get the mould line remover in there. But that's okay. I can work with this. Once I've stuck this one to a base, I'm going to have another sip of tea. So yeah, as I was saying, got a bit of the old toothache going on at the moment, so I will be glad to get that done. So I'm going out to Plymstock again because that's where the dentist is on Thursday, I believe. So tomorrow I should see this, and yeah, hopefully they can put it right. And whilst I'm out there, I should probably go to the Broadway shopping place, stock up on a few things that I'm going to be needing in the future, like Christmas wrapping paper and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sorry to be talking about it, guys, but it'll be here before you know it. Mark my words. Right, placing that to one side a moment, having a sip of tea. And I shall think about what I'm going to be doing. Right, let's put my phone over there. So we are going to use black primer. Yeah. And I am going to be hand brushing it. See, if I was to airbrush it, I'd just like done, you know, and I'm not getting to know the model really that way. So I'm doing it this way. Yeah, I'll use this base brush. I mean, this stuff is great because it goes through airbrush, you can hand brush it, it's really good. I'm just going to pop it down on the palette here. Oh, if I can open the lid, there we are. Too much, just a bit. And then, with my brush, start priming them up. That way I get a feel for how easy or difficult they're going to be able to be painted as a model. But yeah, I think it's right to go the monochrome route with these. I think he says, I haven't even done it yet, but yeah, I'll get all the paints together that I've got as close to the because what Carl did is he put a little step-by-step tutorial together for me on his Facebook page, and it's Underground Wargaming. I forget the name of it, but apologies for that. I mean, that's a Facebook page which is for non-GW stuff, so you know, you can go there and post your non-GW work. But I was thankful for it. So I'm going to follow it fairly strictly. I might vary it slightly, who knows. I might have to because of the colours. But I get the general idea. The reason I'm painting all of this is because there's something which is often neglected on a model is the base, priming the base, and then they just sort of like get like brown or whatever go around the edges. But you're painting it on non-primed plastic, so it's going to come away easier. Well, here I'm painting the whole miniature. I love zombies. They don't call them zombies in The Walking Dead though, they call them walkers. I don't know why they won't say they're zombies. Maybe it's too cliched. If anyone knows the answer, let me know in the comments. I like the way if you get killed, you come back as a zombie, but obviously you're not. It's not like Zombicide, whereas you're a zombivore. You're just a zombie, so you're just replaced with a zombie miniature. That's quite cool. Unless you have you're killed with a headshot wound, then obviously you're not coming back from the dead. This is going together quite well. Did my famous nudge the camera trick there. I like to do that, yeah. It's my trademark. Knock the camera, because that's what I do. But yeah. Yes, looking at these miniatures though, they're all individual. So I like the idea of that. And I'm curious at this stage to know if the booster pack is going to replicate any of these, or whether they'll all be individual as well. I mean, that would be pretty sweet. I mean, it seems like a lot of if you're just getting into a game of this sort of miniatures game, this will seem like a lot of miniatures to you, but trust me, it isn't. Oops. Roll right through the primer, getting it everywhere. It's typical. I'm such a messy git. This one could be like a double for Andrea, I think, this one. I'm going to get the other models obviously for the game, but I'm just going to get enough basic games going to start with and build it up from there, Another guy with a cap on. He's got his boots still, but he's missing an arm. Probably got eaten by another zombie. That's how he became a zombie, or a walker rather. Probably ate his arm. Because if anyone had taken his arm and he survived it, they would have just killed him outright, wouldn't they? So that really logically can be the only explanation for limbless walkers. I like the idea of the dry brushing technique on zombies as well, because that's going to make painting them a lot quicker. So it'll look good, it'll be quick to paint, and yeah, everyone's a winner in my book. I'm going to paint those rocks too after this. Making sure I'm getting all the mini covered in primer. Making sure I don't miss any spots on the models. It's amazing how I do miss spots sometimes. So I'm like, how the heck did I miss that? You're painting it all black, how on earth can you miss that? Well, I do. Incidentally, I'm curious, does anybody know, are there any zombie role-playing games out there? You know, role-playing games where you could get like 12 zombie figures like this, and that'd be more than enough for the role-playing aspect. So I think I'd be very interested in that too. Right. Oh, on to the woman with the broken foot now. That's the first one I did. There. And the last one. Don't know who this lady was. She could have been a nurse or not just anybody really. She's got no shoes, so someone's taken her shoes. I don't imagine zombies take their shoes off and go, oh, that's better. Killing my feet. Yes, that's that. Oh, so I've got these two epoxy rocks. Epoxy resin rocks. So that's one, I'll put him to one side. This will mark another one. Something else I'm going to be doing are these. Treasure chest thingamajiggers. Well, they can be objective markers, anything really. Actually, that one's a bit small. Combine it with this. Some barrels here too. So just see how they paint up in it. I was told these don't need scrubbing, so I didn't scrub them. I watched an episode of Fear the Walking Dead the other night. That seemed a lot about nothing. I'm waiting for things to hot up in that series, like it does with the conventional Walking Dead series. You know, I'm hoping things will get better. I'm going to probably glue these to poker chips. In the meantime, I can prime them up, but I'm unsure whether I want do the poker chip basing first or no. Remember this? This was going to be used for Congo. That could also be used for Walking Dead as well. Campsite fire, which I thought was quite funky. Now, going to be put to there, so I'm going to do the boat as well. Right. And there we go. So, doing a lot more actually. Right, just bear with me one moment. Right. just sorting out a message from my wife, so did require a response, so I responded. Right, now I can finish priming this. That seems a bit crazy, priming a boat with a brush this small, but you know. Yes, so what I'm going to do with these, which was kindly given to me free from the Telfa Model Designs. I'm going to pop them onto my poker chip bases, which I love using as bases because they're ideal. You know, they're plastic. I don't play poker, and you can pick them up really cheap in charity shops. You can get a whole boatload of them in like a poker set, and you know, for a couple of quid usually. I've got about 3 poker sets, you know. Sometimes you get a nice green cloth in with it as well, which you can use for your gaming. Cards I don't need because I've got tons of cards as well. So it seems every drawer in the house I open there's a bloody pack of cards in there. So this still can be the theme of The Walking Dead, because although these can be used for Congo, which was my initial thought, they can also be used for Walking Dead. And they can even be used for Batman, the miniatures game. So, yeah, because I'm still into that as well. These are easy to paint up. Yeah, I don't know if the Fear the Walking Dead series will keep going like The Walking Dead does. So it seems very reminiscent of The Walking Dead storyline. They just go about it a slightly different way, but the main bits are identical. I remember when they got to the farm, Herschel's farm in The Walking Dead, and they were keeping walkers alive, like family members or whatever, and staff and that, and feeding them chickens and whatever. Well, they do that in Fear the Walking Dead as well. It's like a sort of almost like a mansion home in Mexico or wherever it is, and they're doing the same thing there. So it's just emulating it. But you don't get the same drama with it that you do with The Walking Dead, I don't think. I mean, the whole Negan thing was just like, yeah, need a good antagonist. Keep things alive, it's good. I mean, you did have the governor. I think Negan's even better. Okay, now he assured me these don't need scrubbing, so I'm going with it. On the premise that it doesn't. The boats themselves can be used in Congo and Lord of the Rings. Well, I suppose they can be used for Batman as well in a not quite so substantial way. But be trying to sneak drugs into Gotham on small boats. You get a good MDF like a cargo boat for it. I've seen a good MDF RV for Dale as well. So keep my eyes peeled for that. I think the trouble with Fear the Walking Dead is at the moment a lot of the characters are still trying to come to terms with what's happened, and it's harder for the audience, I think, to relate to the characters relating to their world, because we're all a bit desensitized from The Walking Dead, and we're all like, yeah, come on, get on with it, just kill them. This is zombies, for goodness sake. Put a spike in his head, and they're like, no, they're still alive, they're still people, no, they're not. I think that's the problem with it. I think it will be difficult for that show to keep up with The Walking Dead, I really do. I hope they do another season of it. I'm on season 2 of that. I think once this boat is done, I'll be done here. So we're coming up to the hour. Oh, I just don't want to use another brush. Switch it out for a big one, but I just don't want to. I know this model well, but I like the feel of painting with it. It's quite therapeutic. Right, there. Pop that boat to one side so that it can dry. Now I'm going to use an old brush if I can find one. Bet I can't find one. Oh, that'll do. Pop some of this back into here. There. So that's not bad, folks. Recently cleaned this. So there we go. Glasses off. So I'll just have a quick look there. So that isn't bad. So they're prepped and primed already. Okay, I'm going to end it here. So thanks once again for joining me on this episode of On the Bench with Pete. It's been great. I've got 12 zombies prepped and primed now, and looking forward to cracking on with that. So yeah, so let me know what you're working on, you know, if you want to. I enjoy reading those, and I'll see you on the next video. But remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now.